Foundation. Happy to be in this Telos organized Telos Tuesday Ask Me Anything Twitter event. I will give you an overview of Telos Foundation, and then I will answer a couple of questions that came earlier already through Twitter. Thank you for those. So Telos Foundation is a promotional and marketing body for the Telos blockchain network. Telos blockchain network as itself is a decentralized network. However, Telos Foundation, we wouldn't say that Telos Foundation is so decentralized as itself. This is only for very practical reasons. We need to operate in real business world. We need to build partnerships. We need to provide community services, and you need to have a business or legal entity to provide these services for the community. Telos Foundation was launched 2018 December, and originally there was 12 board members. Telos Foundation board members were elected by the Telos Foundation token holder, voting tokens holders, and we will in fact change that hopefully quite quickly so that the community will have more say to the people who are in the foundation. Sorry for this one. So until April, Telos Foundation was built most of all of these board members, but quite quickly after that we realized that Telos is actually a startup and not a prestigious, very valuable old organization where we can just have board meetings over there and overview. So we changed the direction to take it more agile and more startup focused and building a core team that can drive Telos Foundation forward. That is how we started, and that is how I was elected to the position. And yes, I was elected by the board, and the board was selected by the community, the voting token holders. There was a couple of questions already sent into Twitter, and I can actually go a couple of those through before I will see more of the questions. I'm happy to see those. But I think Nathan has sent a couple of good questions. He asked what were the challenges in setting up the foundation. First of all, I think Telos' strength is the decentralization, but at the same time, it is the weakness. This means that Telos Foundation, we are only one part of the network. We are promotional and marketing body, but we do not actually have say for the chain governance. So that creates a challenge, and we don't actually have, Telos Foundation doesn't actually have that kind of decision-making power over, let's say, Telos' overall strategy. It's quite challenging because we need to market and we need to build Telos for the world, and then we cannot actually decide everything by ourselves. That's not the nature of Telos. So we are basically building a marketing for a smart contract platform for this marvelous project called Telos, and we don't actually have one niche where to focus on. That's one of the biggest challenges we have. So it has taken quite a lot of efforts to find the middle ground over there, what the Telos Foundation should be doing, and how we can engage more people to join our movement. This is also related actually to the branding. The branding was quite big initiative we had last autumn, and it was published in December. We have when we started to think what Telos is and what is the message and to whom we are selling and to what we are selling, we were in front of a massive package or ball of various things. So it is not easy, because if we say that, yeah, we are for gaming, we are for finance, we are for fashion, we are for supply chain, we are narrowing ourselves in a really bad position. So the branding, when it moved forward from the foundation side, it aimed to focus especially on these challenges I just described, that there are actually so many industries and so many audiences and so many key people we should be engaging that it becomes impossible. That is why the new branding is quite general. But we are focusing on that one. And now when we have the base layer, we can move forward and start crystallizing and funneling more targeted marketing and for specific groups. That's one of our key initiatives, actually starting in 2 weeks' time when we start the developer marketing. Then another questions, I have my book over here, what people have asked earlier. What are Telos Foundation's strategic initiatives for 2020? Thank you for yellow for these questions. I shortly I described that strategic way is not very easy to decide, and alone Telos Foundation cannot do it. But what we can do is to create a foundation where various community groups can derive from. So the foundational work that we ensure that Telos is a great place to be people to build their dreams and applications and businesses is Telos Foundations work. So we put a lot of effort still to this foundational work. We are launching a developer portal in 2 weeks' time, or at least the marketing. We have partnered with a reputable marketing agency to run it forward. We will do that, so we hopefully are able to engage more developers and bringing more talent to Telos. And then we run these campaigns, one initiative at a time, potentially one per month, with the selected industry. So this foundational work is one of the key initiatives that is going forward. Then professionalizing Telos, or Telos Foundation, it's also very important. We are bringing now new people into Telos Foundation, both to the, oh my god, that question. sorry, I'm seeing the questions over there. So, oh my god, I covered that question earlier, so sorry for this one. So, professionalizing Telos is one of the key initiatives, and also creating this foundational work that Telos is a good place for businesses, for DApp developers, node operators, and community members to contribute. That's what we are doing now. And also we are onboarding a lot of new people into Telos Foundation who will help us with the strategic initiatives. It's normal business anyway, in sense that relationships matters, and you need to have the access for certain places so that you can get bigger and bigger projects for yourself and get the Telos name out of there. We operate in short, mid-term, and long-term basis, and of course it's sometimes quite a challenge when you need to work all of these with limited resources. Okay, Then I think there was a question how I was elected to become the Telos Foundation Chief Executive Officer. So Telos Foundation Board selects the Chief Executive, which is me. This Telos Foundation Board, in turn, is elected by the Telos Foundation voting token holders. And I know that most of the community probably doesn't know about these tokens, but they are something that was left from the launch group, this over 130 people who built Telos until the network was launched. So these Telos Foundation voting token holders elected the board. There has been a couple of these board elections. Everyone can find those in Squirrel. Many people have left the Telos Foundation since then already, and we're working with a smaller team at the moment. But we will, through a ratified amendment, we hope to change the system that also community has more to say rather than only the Telos Foundation voting token holders. That's also important for the decentralization or the decentralized nature of Telos, so that the community has more to say to the who are sitting in the board. Okay, please send me some questions. I think I'm running out of these. But there was actually another one from Nathan already. What are some of the major obstacles to adoption the Telos Foundation is dealing with today? Well, first of all, Telos is young. It's a 14 months old network, and which means that we are not as mature as, for example, Ethereum is. Ethereum has been on the market for ages. This means that they have much more tools. They have much more developers. They have much more business partnerships. They have sponsorships, and obviously they have more funding than for example Ethereum or any other chain. So this is one of the questions we are dealing at the moment. But like I said, we are launching the developer portal, and Telos Foundation has identified these problems where we need to target so that we can lower the barrier for entry for various groups and make it day after day, week after week, month after month easier for other groups, businesses, startup entrepreneurs and developers to entry. Right. Great, there was a good question in the chat. I saw it. Please send it again if I miss it. So it was how many dApps we're expecting to launch. I'm not sure if I saw the rest of it. So we do daily work at the foundation with the applications. We talk with them. We provide help. Event grants, we provide marketing support, we provide advice. So the work is ongoing, and unfortunately I cannot say that this week we will have 5 new dApps and we have dApp every day coming, but I'm quite confident. It's to my internal books, it looks quite well where we are heading. This week, potentially 2 big announcements, and we had big announcements already last week, and the whole February seemed to be quite successful. And once again, when we engage on the base layer developers and smart contract developers, entrepreneurs who can build on Telos, the more we have the bandwidth and more we have the resources that potentially become interested in Telos. Okay, another question, I saw it quickly. Unfortunately, those questions run very fast over there. So how we can prevent the exchange taking over Telos? That's in our TBNOA exchanges cannot vote on their tokens, and also we have arbitration, which is quite unique for a chain. That's one of the ways. And when we think about, at the moment, I don't see that exchange, this kind of hostile takeover would be realistic at the moment. But of course, if and when Telos grows as a community and Telos grows, let's say, in value, it becomes more and more threat. But in the beginning, Telos was very decentralized. Obviously, we have now more and more those bigger holders. But still, I think those people who are now at Telos, they believe in our vision, and they believe in Telos as a project. So I wouldn't see that those are any kind of malicious or bad actors. Okay, what other questions there might be? Please, unfortunately, those questions scroll very quickly in my corner, and I might lose them. So please do send those again so that I can answer. I'm having a look at my notes if I have other over here. Okay, all right. Marketing Master, by the way, he asked what type of autonomous platforms will be built on Telos. And secondary question, is there transaction fees? Right, Telos is there are no fees on Telos. However, there is this staking system over there when you stake a certain amount of tokens, and then you buy the resources through that system or stake, so that you have availability to use the platform. And the question, what type of autonomous platforms will be built on Telos? That's the thing, we don't know. We're like internet of value. We are not in the position to say that what kind of platforms or what kind of applications will come to Telos. We are open protocol, and this is one of my favorite topics. I believe in open protocols. That is how the revolution, the fourth industrial revolution, is going to happen. So unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball to tell here what kind of autonomous platforms we will have on Telos. That depends on our skills, what kind of people we are able to attract, and what are they willing to build on Telos. This is quite interesting question also in terms that now the discourse that is, I say generally in blockchain, we have all the time discussion with should it be a private chain or should it be a public chain. I'm extraordinarily glad that Telos is a public chain. That creates numerous opportunities for all of those very smart people who want to join in the economy of the future. And yeah, we do not know as of yet. We don't know as of yet what everything will be built on, but we will focus on that base layer, that those groups are actually coming to Telos and build on it. Okay, I think I saw one question over there, what plans I do have for Telos Foundation. I quickly answered those earlier as the strategic key initiatives for 2020. First of all, we professionalize Telos, so we are onboarding more people, bringing more contacts in. That's how business works. It's like we need to get out of our little bit bubble we have over here and bring other people outside of this our own community to contribute. So professionalizing Telos is one of the most important things, and also that we continue working with the basics and the foundations, because we cannot decide the one strategic initiative. We need to be able to offer those to quite many industries. So let's say it like this. Sorry, I'm really missing those questions. Is there a Telos savings? I don't actually understand. But Telos Foundation. So Telos Foundation, unfortunately, we operate on very limited budget. That's quite clear. No one needs to be a mathematical genius. So Telos Foundation, we actually don't save anything at the moment. Sometimes the community asks, Telos Foundation, or thinks that Telos Foundation has a massive bank of Telos. That is not true. In order to succeed, we just need to use a lot of funds up front and build it somewhere. It's a normal startup culture in that sense. But we are seeing traction just now. The Q1 has been quite successful for us already. With the dApps, we also obtained an opinion letter from a reputable crypto security lawyer from the United States that, in his opinion, we are not security. That will once again lower the barrier for us to enter, for example, better exchanges and to get more community, let's say crypto community from that way. It's a challenge always, because we are operating with so many key audiences and with so many markets. Yeah, someone is asking about the Rex. Rex is a fantastic system. Yesterday we were listed to www.stakingrewards.com. There's a really good staking rewards calculator for all of those who are interested in Telos staking rewards. I think someone commented that she or he keeps asking the same question, but these questions actually go away very quickly from this chat, and I cannot unfortunately grab those. So let me any other questions? Okay, are there any upcoming events where the Telos Foundation is attending? Yes, there are. So Telos Foundation goes regularly to these trade expos, and we don't do it for the Telos Foundation, but we do it for the network. So we invite our projects over there to exhibit with us, and we invite development teams over there to, if they have a proof of concept, they are willing to come and co-exhibit with us. So we have now in 3 weeks' time, we have the expo here in London, and there will be, I think, 9 applications who are joining with us to the booth. That kind of for everyone's information. So, like I said, these are open for the community. It's a community service. Telos succeeds if our dApps succeed. So, of course, we want to make sure that they will also get the exposure as needed. This is why we do the PR releases with the dApps that are launching, and we provide any additional support they might need. Even if Telos Foundation, we are not a broker, we don't raise funds to the projects, but we might have some connections that the applications need. And with Katie from Roman Anders' team, we're actually building at the moment, we're building this kind of venture program that we hope to launch later in September or October. It depends now. We cannot know what is the exact date, but a lot of work has been done on the foundational level. Okay. Any other questions? Is there a limit to number of dApps Telos makes as a resource? I'm sorry. Okay. As a grant. I'm sorry. Can I have that question regarding grants again? Oh, it's not coming. I once again apologize that I missed those questions. They just disappear. Is there a limit you all know of dApps? Telos makes grants. I'm sorry, this is now a question I don't understand. Is there a limit you all know dApps? Well, okay. Let me tell about Telos Foundation grants. Limit to number. Okay, all right. A good question, this one. So, usually we give a grant, 1 grant per application. That's it. And our grants at the foundation, they are not that big. But they serve as a like engagement to the community, and also securing that those dApps actually feel welcome and they can get their product over the line and potentially then go after the more bigger capital markets to raise those. So usually when we talk about grants, they are usually around $2,000 each. I think maximum that anyone has got is actually $5,000. But when we keep it a little bit smaller, the actual grant, we can give these to more and more dApps and help those to get over the line. But please remember, the Telos Foundation grant program is not the only funding mechanism. There are also WPS, and of course, like I mentioned earlier, we do have contacts with VCs as well. Okay, I see. Thank you for the answer. Murmur need this. Yeah, Murmur need to contact. I'm sure the Murmur team is already in contact with Justin. Any other questions? I keep repeating now the same word. Any other questions? Please do let me know. What are the social dApps? You mean the dApps that have now enrolled to Telos? Of course, we have this fantastic newlife.ai, which and like talked Murmur, and we see a lot of value over there. It's very engaging to the end user. Not a single blockchain actually has to date managed to communicate the real value of blockchain, those universal values that all blockchains kind of represent to the masses. It's still, we are so early days, even if Bitcoin is over 10 years, but we are still so early days that the value of blockchain technology is very unfamiliar to most of the people. My mother think I'm some sort of doing very dodgy business. It's blockchain. She doesn't believe that this is true. And I believe that most of the people around the world share the same thinking that no, this is not actually real. So the social dApps that potentially bring millions of users, and users who doesn't actually have to deal with all kind of highly technical things will bring a lot of value. So there's a lot of hopes that Murmur and newlife.ai will succeed quickly. And of course, Telos Foundation does whatever it can do in order to support those. What is the plan of Telos to onboarding social media dApps? Anyone? Okay. Like said earlier described, so Telos Foundation, we don't alone decide the strategic road for Telos. We don't do that alone. There needs to be a community involvement, and there needs to be a lot of community approaches as well. But what is my approach and Telos Foundation approach is that we lower the barriers for entry. This means that if there is let's say a specific industry and they're considering between two chains, that should I go to this chain A or should I go to B, and they come, we find out that, by the way, here's we like Telos, but we need to go with the other chain because they have this and that. So in that point of time, we have identified what is actually missing. If it's a solution layer, if it's a privacy layer, if it's some sort of plugin or some sort of technical thing, those need to be identified. What is actually preventing one application or one industry utilizing Telos? And I personally hope that when we launch with Telos.net portal, we are creating a initiative portal over there, that we can more effectively communicate those identified needs and wishes to the community, so that we can get plenty of groups propose that, yeah, I can do this. If there is an e-commerce plugin missing, yeah, hands on, I will build it. So the strategy regarding the social media dApps is, of course, it's lowering the barriers for entry, identifying those barriers, what might be preventing, and what we can do in-house is to give this, for example, grant support and other marketing support and the community support to dApps, hoping that Telos is the best chain of all of these potential options for the entrepreneurs. What is your goal with Telos? A good question. I don't want to sound too ambitious, but I think I think we can conquer the world with this project. Yeah, we do it in stages, one step at a time, one industry at a time, lower the barriers and then make it succeed. You know, it's just like if I succeed, all of us succeed. If you succeed, I succeed. We are in this together. The question, what Telos product I'm most excited of? Well, in fact, I need to say that Telos.net, it's internal Telos Foundation project. That is my excitement at the moment. It will be a portal where people can communicate, create initiatives, and participate in groups. One of the things that dApps suffer is that they don't have enough users. So, like I mentioned earlier, this whole blockchain industry is very small still, and all the dApps are actually suffering from the lack of the users. It's just like when we go to a normal world over there and say that, yeah, I have a dApp, I have 1,000 users over here, the big money guys, they're like, whoa, 1,000 users, you should be still on friends and fools round and not come to us. So I hope that creating the Telos.net portal, which will be a hub for Telosians. Will support those dApps even more. They have a place over there where they have the user base and also place to communicate. That's my excitement at the moment. Is there an active outreach initiative to academia? Yes, like I mentioned earlier, we have as one of the major goals for the Telos Foundation is to professionalize Telos. And we are actually working with the strategy on this one. And regarding academia, now there are two sort of academics. There are the students who we hope that are potentially those entrepreneurs and really smart guys that I want to do something cool on Telos. I will join this community. And then there's the older people, or professors or lecturers who we want to engage as well and even do proof of concepts. We have couple outlined over there. In the papers. Obviously we do not announce anything before everything is served. But yeah, that's something we are working on all the time. What have been your most valuable achievements during your time? Sorry, I'm trying. Well, there are a lot of things that we are doing at the foundation, and pointing out one thing, what is the most valuable thing. I think creating the whole structure from scratch, trying to getting people organized, working towards these big initiatives that we are now able to launch this spring has been the most important work. So, for example, on summer, I asked my fellow colleagues at the Telos Foundation, what is Telos? If Telos Foundation is a marketing and promotional body, what is Telos and what we are actually selling over here? No one didn't answer. I didn't get the answer, what is Telos? So that we move forward. It was very clear that we need to define the direction where we are going, let's say on a brand level. And there's extensive work, and not only from the Telos Foundation, but also CJ and Katie has worked, helped, and another team has helped driving that forward. That's the one. That is creating these base layers when you need to move forward, and it's starting to come together. So now, when we have this new branding over there, we can actually launch those targeted campaigns I mentioned earlier, like 10 minutes ago. And we are starting with the developer outreach campaign. This is, I think, one of the most important. And then there's all the time these smaller things, ad hoc initiatives that basically comes daily. This is 24/7 world when you need to just grab. Okay, there's a problem and someone needs to solve it. And okay, who is going to do it? I do it. It's all kind of ad hoc tasks in that sense as well. And of course, I'm really proud of our business development. We have helped to onboard a lot of dApps over to the Telos. And like I said, there are a couple of big announcements this week if we are able to close those. What else questions there might be? Any other questions? Core Telos values. Telos Foundation values professionalism, of course, and being inclusive. That we are doing this. Most of all, we are doing this for people. So it's not only for the blog producers. It's not only for the let's say crypto investors. It's not only for independent dApp builders or any other any other stakeholder we might have over there. But most of all, we are doing this for people, and I truly believe that with blockchain technology, we can change the world. We can make it more transparent and more efficient. We can create hundreds of new business models, and those kind of models that doesn't actually exist as of yet. So this community approach, and at the same time being professional and trustworthy, I think those are the values that lead us forward. And of course, we need to be very future focused. So all the time we need to have a couple more steps ahead of others, so that we can actually see what is happening over there in the world and move forward, execute accordingly. It's quite funny. This happens actually for me often. I say something, Telos Foundation team, and a couple of days after I read the same thing from the newspaper when some big name is saying it. I think we are heading to the right direction. Okay, alright, I lost this other question, I'm sorry. Any other questions, or are we done? Okay. In 3 years, where do you see Telos? I shouldn't talk about any kind of value. This is recommendation from our from our lawyer, but we know how it goes in blockchain. So it says like Telos is a valuable resource, and I hope to see us as one of the top 5 or top 10 blockchain projects that are available. I think we can do it. There was actually a great question, another one. Telos in Africa. This is highly related to the fact that we are professionalizing Telos, and one of the persons who is soon joining the Telos Foundation Advisory Board is actually quite a big name in that continent. We will get a lot of introductions, good projects, right contacts, so that we can actually take that market and be present over there. Good question. And no, we don't have any, there is another question, do we have any specific country? No, we don't. Telos is a global project. We welcome everyone to join Telos. But then once again, this goes to the stage of Telos. I would love to see in the future that we have local representatives, like basically in all of the countries. Telos China, Telos India, Telos Finland, Telos Sweden, Telos Germany, Telos USA, Telos Canada, all kind of I wish we will reach that stage at some point of time when we are self-organized and Telos is like spreading like fire around the world. Okay. I don't see any questions. Let's take one question. Then I have been talking 45 minutes. One question, and then we can wrap this up and potentially arrange another AMA question. This is the first time I have done this. It's a little bit awkward. I feel that I'm having a monologue. Anything about my background? Yeah, a couple of things. So I have a master's degree in linguistics. I studied that in Finland. And communications, literature. I studied various soft subjects, and on top of that, I studied all kind of miscellaneous courses: economics, sociology, social psychology, for just a curiosity. So I love reading, I love studying, I love learn new things. And how did I actually ended up to blockchain was, I moved to London in 2016, and I had to take, I moved over to London. I didn't have anything. I just packed my stuff, moved to a hotel, left everything behind in Finland, and went to a new city. That okay, I need to create a new thing over there. And it didn't take a couple of weeks. I got my apartment. I managed to rent a flat, and then I started to find a job. And there's a couple of not so good, let's say, tries with the job. But then I ended up to working in payments and remittances technology. That was exciting. During that time, I didn't know anything about how banking actually works. How does the money move around the world? And no, it didn't take too much time from me when I understood that, by the way, this system that I'm actually selling over here is not very efficient. And I started to study. I found blockchain, and that was basically solution for all of those problems I identified in the current banking and payment system. It's an extraordinary difficult environment to operate in, and it needs efficiency. It's slow, and one of the main reasons I ended up to the blockchain. I learned it like that was the solution. I'm a problem solver in that sense. Okay, what year did you get involved in cryptocurrency? I think that was 2015. I was trying to download a Decred wallet. It really didn't work. I was then planning that I start to mine this. Then I went to all kind of web pages that I want to learn how to mine this Decred currency. It didn't leave anywhere, so I left it for a while. That's how I ended. But the technology is quite fascinating. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. Yeah, that was the last question, I think so. And thank you for everyone for joining this. I know it was a little bit chaotic. I'm sorry, this was the first time I did it. But next time, let's see if I have a book time, for example. For example, for me, we need to find a way if we can be a little bit more structured. These questions go so quickly. But okay, thank you for everyone for joining this Ask Me Anything session. It was a nice learning experience. I think everyone learned, and we will do this more in the work.